Welcome to Copperhead Living, and today it's a little bit different. We're going to do like a time lapse or like a vlog of making some bread today with my husband. And we did stuff a little bit different, but we use like what you would make the daily loaf with, the recipe you would make the daily loaf with. So come hang out with us. We fed 3 starters to make sure we had enough starter for our dough. We tripled the recipe in 2 different silver bowls. Here we are starting the dough out. Here we're adding water for the second batch of the tripled starter of the dough. We let the dough rest and measure out the salt to get that ready. Alright, now we're going to add some starter and some salt and mix it all together and combine it together until it makes like a window pane. So it's easier to mix everything in these really big bowls, and especially easier if somebody is holding the bowl for you. Alright, here he's checking it. Obviously, it is not ready yet. We need to toughen the dough up some more. As you watch us tuck and folds and do this all to the dough, you can see how the dough changes. It's crazy. Alright, it's time to let these rest. I check for the window pane here, and then we also start tucks and folds. Can you see the difference in the dough and how it's changed just already? Alright, time to rest before the next tuck and folds. Alrighty, next tuck and fold time. Alright, time to rest. And now my husband takes on some tucks and folds. Rest again. Alright, now it's rested for about 8 hours and we're going to shape them up. These ones we're going to shape a little bit differently, like we said before, using the daily loaf recipe just to see how they turned out, and it's pretty awesome how they turned out. Have you ever shaped a daily loaf into something different? Let me know down below if you have and what it was. We definitely need to practice shaping the dough better, but it was the first time doing it this way and not too bad for the first time. We made all kinds of shapes. We made loaf shapes, long shapes, all kinds of shapes. Then we put them in the fridge and let them rest overnight, with some with plastic over them and some with not. Our dough was still a little sticky. I don't know why, but we might have just needed to toughen it up more before we got to this point. But it still turned out really well. Alright, it's the next day. We are scoring, well, my husband is scoring the first one so we can put them into the oven when it's ready to go. We did put a pot of water underneath it for the ones that weren't in the Dutch oven. Oh my goodness, look how well they turned out. They turned out really well. Way better than I thought they would have turned out. They look silly, but they still were really good. More milk? It's right behind you. Hold on. Thin, but not too bad. Don't... Thank you guys for stopping by and watching all of that. I hope to see you guys again.